At 2:19 p.m., the call came in. An active shooter. A high school. Hundreds of lives inside. Within minutes, a deputy arrived. But instead of running toward danger, he stayed outside. For 77 minutes, police waited. Students hid. Lives were lost. This is the true story of the Parkland shooting and the law enforcement failures that forced America to confront a painful truth. This is Beyond the Badge. February 14th, 2018. The call no officer wants. On Valentine's Day, at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, the final bell had just rung. Students were heading home. Teachers were packing up. Then gunfire erupted. Within moments, Broward County Sheriff's Office received multiple 911 calls. The dispatcher's words were clear: active shooter. The first deputy arrives. Deputy Scott Peterson, a school resource officer, arrived within minutes. His training required immediate engagement, locating the shooter, moving toward the threat. Instead, Peterson took cover outside the building. He radioed that shots were coming from multiple directions. But investigators would later discover he never entered the school. What officers are trained to do. After Columbine, law enforcement training changed nationwide. No waiting for backup. No perimeter first approach. Active shooter protocol was clear. The first officer goes in. Every second matters. And seconds were slipping away. Inside the school, while police remained outside, students and teachers were trapped. Some barricaded classrooms. Some hid in hallways. Some tried to escape. 911 operators stayed on the line. They could hear fear. They could hear silence. Confusion, not coordination. More deputies arrived. But command was unclear. No one took control. No one ordered entry. Officers assumed someone else had gone in. No one confirmed. This wasn't cowardice alone. It was systemic breakdown. The command failure. Investigators later identified a critical failure. There was no incident commander for over an hour. Radio traffic was chaotic. Information was incomplete. False assumptions spread. Police believed the shooter had fled. He had not. Training versus reality. Many deputies later testified they believed the building was already cleared. Shots were coming from outside. Another team had entered. This highlighted a brutal truth. Training doesn't matter if communication collapses. The aftermath. 17 people were killed. The nation demanded answers. Not just, what happened? But, why didn't police go in? The internal investigation. The Broward Sheriff's Office launched an internal review. Findings were damning. Deputy Peterson failed to act. Supervisors failed to command. Training deficiencies existed. Radio failures worsened confusion. This wasn't one mistake. It was many. Criminal charges against a deputy. In a rare move, prosecutors charged Scott Peterson with child neglect, culpable negligence. It sent shockwaves through law enforcement. Officers asked, could this happen to any of us? The acquittal and the debate. Peterson was later acquitted. The jury concluded his actions were failures, but not criminal under the law. The verdict divided the country. Was this accountability or scapegoating? Leadership under fire. Sheriff Scott Israel faced intense scrutiny. Families accused leadership of incompetence. An investigation found poor training, cultural complacency, weak discipline. He was later suspended by the governor. Lessons police departments couldn't ignore. Across America, departments reevaluated active shooter training, command authority, radio protocols, school resource officer roles. Parkland became a case study taught nationwide. Officers speak quietly. Many officers admitted privately. This could have been any department. Because pressure changes behavior. Fear alters judgment. Confusion spreads fast. The human cost. Behind policy debates were families. Parents who waited for calls. Students who never came home. No policy fixes that pain. But accountability demanded answers. Reform, not just blame. Law enforcement leaders emphasized scenario-based training, clear command hierarchy, immediate action drills, psychological readiness. Because hesitation costs lives. Beyond one badge. Parkland wasn't about one officer. It was about systems, culture, leadership, preparedness. The badge represents authority, but also responsibility. Final reflection. The hardest truth in policing. Sometimes the right decision is the hardest one to make. And sometimes, failure isn't malicious. It's human, but the consequences are permanent. The badge doesn't grant perfection. It demands accountability. Parkland forced law enforcement to confront uncomfortable realities, not to shame officers, but to prevent history from repeating itself. Because every call is someone's worst day, and every response matters. This has been Beyond the Badge.